Have you ever watched a chess grandmaster like Magnus Carlsen?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Or athletes like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan.
Exactly, and you just marveled at how they seem to anticipate every single move.
It really looks like magic sometimes, doesn't it? But it's not.
No, it's this incredibly deep understanding of strategy. They're thinking, what, like many, many steps ahead?
Uh-huh. So what if you could take that level of strategic foresight,
Yeah,
and actually apply it to your own life, your business?
that's a really powerful idea. And it's pretty much what the author of our source material today, Patrick Bet-David, along with Greg Dinkin, gets into.
Right. In their book, Your Next 5 Moves.
And it's not just another business strategy guide, is it?
No, not at all. It's really about developing a whole mindset, one that helps you become unflappable in the heat of battle, as they put it.
Whether that's like a tough negotiation or just dealing with personal stuff.
Exactly. Boardroom, life, whatever.
So today we're diving deep into direct excerpts from this really powerful book. And our mission for you listening is to pull out those really important nuggets of knowledge. Maybe some surprising facts, too.
Kind of give you a shortcut, right? To being well-informed on strategy, on making decisions.
Yeah, helping you understand not just what to do, but maybe more importantly, the why behind it.
And the core idea, it sounds simple. Think 5 moves ahead.
Right.
But the author argues that most people, they operate on just 1 or 2 moves, and, well, they flame out pretty quickly.
So 5 moves, that's the magic number.
It's presented as the sweet spot. Enough for thoughtful strategy, but still allows for swift action. It helps you anticipate outcomes, make moves that are really hard to counter.
And what I found compelling is that this isn't just for, big shot CEOs.
Absolutely not. It applies across the board,
Yeah.
all levels. Business, life.
The author himself, Patrick Bet-David, talks about his own journey from being a health club salesman.
Yeah, a hot-tempered one, he says.
Right, to becoming the strategic CEO just by adopting this mindset. It's about shifting how you see things.
From just seeing the next step to seeing the whole board, maybe 5 moves deep.
So where does this all start? How do you actually apply this?
Well, the book is really clear. The foundation, the absolute bedrock, is self-awareness.
Okay.
And the very first step, probably the most crucial one, it's understanding your deepest desires, what makes you tick, and fundamentally, who do you want to be?
When I first read that, who do you want to be? I thought, oh, okay, like a mission statement.
Yeah, but it's deeper than that, isn't it?
Much deeper. The book says it's a continuous process, self-inquiry, reflection.
Because so often you get consultants or influencers acting like everyone wants the same thing, right?
Right.
More money, bigger house.
Uh-huh. But the author argues that real clarity, the kind that helps you make good decisions,
Yeah.
that only comes when those decisions line up with your core beliefs, your values, not someone else's.
He shares a story about that, doesn't he? A personal one.
He does. A big career setback that kind of forced him to look inward.
Right, and he made this list. Specific objectives.
Things like getting financial independence so he wouldn't be controlled by other people's politics and agendas,
That's powerful.
and learning strategies to minimize corporate bullying. Very specific stuff born from experience.
And that leads into another really core idea. Turning pain into power.
How do you mean?
Well, think about people like Elon Musk or Barbara Corcoran and Michael Jordan. They've all used past pain, adversity, as fuel.
Okay.
The book says you can too. By remembering your never again moments, those times you swore things would be different.
And this is where Patrick Bet-David gets incredibly raw, really personal.
Yeah, he shares some intense stuff.
He talks about being 8 years old, living through the Iran-Iraq war in Tehran, hearing sirens, bombs. Terrifying.
Wow, just imagine.
Then his family escapes to a refugee camp in Germany. Then the U.S. when he's 12, barely speaking English.
That kind of experience has to shape you profoundly.
Absolutely. He says his parents' acting saved their lives and it built his tolerance for adversity. But there's more. He talks about being 26, the sting of a guidance counselor basically pitying him, and then this real rock bottom moment.
What happened?
His father got lousy care in a hospital, basically because they didn't have money. At the same time, Patrick's $49,000 in debt just went through a breakup.
Oof, a perfect storm.
He actually says, the old Patrick died that night. He took every insult, 1.8 GPA, loser, mom's on welfare, had to join the army, all of it.
And use it as fuel.
Pure fuel. He promised his father would never work in a dangerous 99-cent store again, would never get bad health care again. It's quite a transformation story.
It really is. But how do you make that last? How does that become, sustainable drive?
That's a good question. The book says the pain might not disappear completely,
Right.
but you can reframe it, see it as a gift, something that brings clarity, helps you identify your non-negotiables.
The things you absolutely won't compromise on.
Exactly. And that deep self-knowledge then allows you to do what the author calls living your future truth.
Ah, I like this concept. Explain that a bit.
Okay, so instead of saying, oh, when I make it, I'll do this, or once I'm successful, then I'll be like that.
You embody who you want to be right now.
Precisely. Regardless of your current income, your status, you act like that person now.
And that conviction, that belief, it inspires people.
Totally. He uses the example of JFK in 1961, saying we'll land a man on the moon before this decade is out.
Yeah, that wasn't a maybe. That was a declaration.
And it happened in 1969. That's living your future truth. It's a powerful motivator.
So how do you keep that front and center, make it tangible?
The book suggests practical tools, using heroes, using visuals as constant reminders.
Like his office?
Yeah, he has that painting with 10 luminaries, Einstein, JFK, Marcus Aurelius, Tupac, and an empty seat.
Right. His personal assembly of mentors.
Yeah.
For counsel.
And that huge 15-foot bookshelf that spells out READ visual cues.
So you go through self-awareness, turning pain to power, living your future truth. What's the peak?
The book calls it level 4, purpose. And defining that involves asking the big questions. How do I want to be remembered? How do I want to impact others? Basically, why are you here?
That's deep stuff.
It is. And the author notes very few people really get there.
Why not?
Often fear, or just being stuck in survival mode, or, choosing distractions, endless social media to avoid the hard questions.
Right. Avoiding that difficult self-inquiry. Okay. So once you have that foundation, self-awareness, purpose,
Yeah.
what's next?
Then the focus shifts outward, building your team, assembling allies.
Because the whole solopreneur idea is kind of a myth, right?
Exactly what the book argues. Individual drive is great, but you can't win against a solid team. To scale up, you have to build one.
And early on, when you're starting, people aren't really joining your company.
They're joining you. The book emphasizes that. Your personal benefits program has to be compelling, even without the usual corporate perks.
So what are potential hires looking for in you?
Good question. The book lists things like what makes you different, your leadership style. Do you have a code of honor? Do you live it?
What benefits will they actually get? And crucially, do they see you constantly growing, evolving?
That makes sense. And within that team structure, the book talks about the consigliere.
Ah, yes, the trusted advisor role. Even the best need one, right?
Absolutely. For perspective, for counsel, bet David talks about his guy, Mario.
The one who helped him on camera.
Yeah, could extract a better delivery without making him self-conscious. The key qualities mentioned are interesting.
What are they?
Shared values, definitely. But, and this is crucial, a different temperament.
So if you're impatient,
Find someone calm, deliberate, introverted. Find an extrovert, someone calm under pressure, who challenges your blind spots and is fiercely loyal without their own agenda.
that difference in temperament, that's insightful. But what about bringing the wrong people in?
Huge danger. The book calls it the Donnie Brasco caution.
Donnie Brasco,
Right.
like the movie.
Exactly. Based on the FBI agent who infiltrated the mob. The warning is, the worst mistake is failing to do proper due diligence on key hires.
Because you trust your gut too much. Pretty much. Entrepreneurs often think they're great judges of character. Better than therapists, even.
But the book says that's not true.
Nope. It argues you have to use data, a systematic approach. You can't just know someone's hidden issues or vulnerabilities through intuition. Greed or eagerness can blind you.
Okay, so you navigate the hiring minefield, you get good people. How do you keep them fired up,
Right.
motivated?
Incentives. Performance-based incentives. Giving people skin in the game.
Why is that so powerful?
It shifts their whole mindset. Suddenly, they're not just working for the company, they're working for themselves, too. They're actively trying to increase the company's value.
The book calls it a 2-for-1 trade, right?
Yeah, the example is like giving a $250K bonus if someone boosts business from $10 million to $15 million. That puts an extra $500,000 in the company's pocket. Win-win.
And he contrasts that with a European company.
The battery manufacturer, growing at only 2% a year because salespeople just got a flat salary. No extra motivation.
Makes sense. Now, the flip side of hiring, letting people go, that's always tough.
Extremely tough. But the book stresses how important it is to do it right. Doing it wrong can poison the whole culture. It's a real, often overlooked skill.
So what are the principles for doing it well? Gently, even.
Accept some responsibility yourself. Approach it with empathy. No blaming or retaliation. Get straight to the point, don't drag it out or over-justify.
Because your reputation hangs on this, too.
Absolutely. How you handle terminations affects future hiring, current morale, everything. Bet David shares firing his top producer for ethical violations.
Even though it caused hardship for the employee.
Yeah, because, as he says, you simply can't tolerate people who violate your principles. He mentions the Rob Parson case at Morgan Stanley, too. Great producer, toxic behavior. Culture comes first.
It's interesting you mentioned culture because the book has a kind of counterintuitive take on that.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
That the best cultures aren't necessarily ones where everyone just gets along perfectly all the time.
Ah, right. They embrace healthy friction.
Exactly. Why is that good?
Because that kind of constructive conflict actually stimulates growth, creativity, learning. It takes courage to be direct, even with star performers who treat others badly.
If you want love without conflict, get a dog.
Yeah, I remember that line. It sticks with you. And this all ties into building trust and motivating people individually.
Trust isn't static, right? The book says it's like a pendulum.
Yeah, when you hire someone, hopefully increases as they prove reliable. You need to be aware of where that pendulum is.
And motivating people? It's not one size fits all.
Definitely not. Great leaders figure out what individually motivates each person, what makes them feel appreciated.
So knowing who needs private praise versus public praise.
Exactly. Or who needs that dedicated one-on-one time. The book suggests just 15 minutes of undivided attention daily for key people can make a huge difference.
And there are those 9 love languages of entrepreneurs.
Right. Some key ones are praise given different ways, clear direction, not just rah-rah, but specific instructions. Do this by this time. Can you do that? Vision, constantly selling the future, guiding the team, and challenge pushing people privately and publicly to avoid complacency. Why are you getting comfortable?
Okay, so foundation built, team assembled, and motivated. Then comes mastering the actual strategy, momentum, data.
Exactly. And a key insight here is about growth itself. It often feels like panic, like things are about to fall apart.
That sounds stressful.
It is. But the book says the key is to recognize that feeling. And instead of pulling back, lean even deeper into those moments.
Oh, wow. Okay, lean into the chaos.
Kinda. And think about speed. The Toyota example is great here.
The assembly line.
Yeah, workers could stop the line, get a supervisor to fix a problem in under a minute. That speed of execution was revolutionary, compressing time frames.
Say, how does that translate to planning? You can't just react.
No, you got to skate to where the buck is going to be, like Gretzky. Plan ahead for growth. More space, more people, more equipment.
Don't be like Romeo, leasing a massive floor with hardly any cash.
Exactly. Avoid that mistake. Think about how many huge companies started small garages, dorm rooms, managing costs carefully.
And making decisions. And the book brings up Jeff Bezos's idea.
The regret minimization framework. Yeah, project yourself into the future. Ask, what will I regret not doing?
Yeah.
Calculated risks beat doing nothing.
Stay focused, right. Avoid distractions.
Absolutely critical. Don't obsessively compare yourself to others. Don't keep pushing a strategy that isn't working. Grandmasters, cut out the noise, celebrity gossip, clickbait. Get the bullet points, lose the fluff.
That focus makes sense, which leads us to data, the numbers.
Yes. The book really hammers this home. You cannot manage effectively without measuring things. Data is the game changer. Way more important than just charisma.
Like Sherlock Holmes said, right? Don't theorize without data.
Precisely. Bet David talks about how using predictive analytics transformed his business, made him a CEO who could scale.
Like Moneyball for business.
Kind of, yeah. Using data like Billy Bean used on base percentage. Data helps you spot problems, leaks.
Like if applications are up but processing is slow?
Exactly. That's a leak. It points to a problem, maybe people, maybe process, maybe tech. Data gives you clues.
And you should trust the numbers more than people's opinions, even your own.
That's the argument. People have agendas, biases, they can be too optimistic. Data is objective. It can show if talented people are just skating by on talent without real result.
Reveals issues like a lack of prospects, maybe. You need numbers to challenge people, optimize performance.
For sure.
So how does using data building systems, how does that increase the actual value of the business?
It's about shifting your mindset from short-term profit now, that's a sales mentality, to long-term value later. That's the CEO mentality.
And systems are key to that.
Absolutely. Document everything. Procedures for hiring, for sales, follow-up, everything. A business that runs on systems is more valuable because it doesn't depend on any one person. It has a life of its own.
Okay. And building value also involves alliances, even with rivals.
Yeah, the book references Robert Greene here. Isolation is dangerous. Set ego aside. Think about Apple in '97.
Taking money from Microsoft, their arch nemesis.
Exactly. A strategic alliance when they needed it. And look for trifecta mentors.
Trifecta, what's that?
People who embody theory, they know it, witness, they've seen it, and application, they've done it.
Like Magnus Carlsen hiring Kasparov, his old rival, as a coach.
Perfect example. Find people who've walked the talk.
Okay, this brings us to the final power plays. Selling, negotiating, influencing. And this is where things get unconventional.
The lobster interviews.
Yeah, he interviews mobsters for his YouTube channel, sees them as ultimate entrepreneurs.
It's definitely a different perspective. Why does he see them that way?
Because of their risk-taking, negotiation skills, quick decisions under, well, life or death pressure.
Okay, so what are the practical takeaways from that? Besides, not breaking the law.
Right. The book distills it into 7 essential steps to prepare for a meeting.
Let's hear them.
1. Consider the other side needs, desires, fears, greed, saving face. 2. Anticipate what they'll say. 3. Have a script or outline.
Okay.
4. Role play it multiple times. Prepare for different reactions. 5. Get advisors to point out your blind spots.
Crucial.
6. Get in the right mindset. Travel early, dress well, visualize success. 7. Build a reputation for over-delivering consistently.
That sounds like intense preparation.
It is. He gives an example of a negotiation where he started by offering to waive a $1 million fee.
Give first to get.
That's the rule, he states. In order to get, you have to give. Then he used data for his own ask, having role-played their objections already.
Preparation pays off, and having options helps too, right?
Massively. Don't rely on one big client, one key employee. Options give you leverage in talks, reduce your stress. It's about the long game, building relationships.
And finally, understanding what drives people.
Yeah, the book says it boils down to money, madness, like having an enemy or a chip on your shoulder or purpose, being part of something bigger.
Understand those drivers and others.
Position them to win based on their drivers, but never try to fix them. You can't rewire people.
Wow. Okay, so we've really covered a lot there.
We've unpacked this whole idea of thinking 5 moves ahead. From self-discovery, building the team, using data, negotiating.
It all connects. The key takeaway, I think, is that it's the moves in the right sequence. That's what makes the difference.
Yeah, combining that deep self-awareness with really rigorous planning and execution, always keeping that vision of who you want to be in mind.
It's about becoming that grandmaster in business and life.
So, thinking about all this, what does it mean for you, the listener? Maybe consider the Goliaths in your world, those huge challenges, the big competitors. What if the best way to take them on isn't head-to-head? What if it's about focusing on your game, your sequences, constantly improving, and meticulously plotting your next 5 moves?